Hold on to your hats, folks, because President Trump has just dropped a tariff bomb. This time, it's not just China feeling the heat. Mexico and Canada, our friendly neighbors to the south and north, are also in the crosshairs. The president says these tariffs are all about protecting American jobs and stopping illegal immigration. But economists are waving red flags, warning that these tariffs will likely backfire and hurt the very people they're supposed to help. So buckle up, grab your wallets, and let's dive into the nitty-gritty of this tariff turmoil. Let's break down this tariff three-way, shall we? First up, we've got Mexico slapped with a whopping 25% tariff on most of their exports to the US. That means everything from those delicious avocados to the tomatoes in your salsa could see a price jump. Next, we head north to Canada, where a 10% tariff on energy imports has been imposed. That means higher prices at the pump for all you road trippers and commuters out there. And don't think you're safe if you're not a big driver, because these tariffs could also impact the cost of transporting goods, which eventually trickles down to higher prices for everything. An additional 10% tariff has been added to Chinese goods, which means your next smartphone, laptop, or pair of sneakers could cost you a pretty penny more. But hold on, because it's about to get even more real when we explore just how these tariffs will impact your wallets. Okay, folks, time to get specific. Let's talk about how these tariffs could impact the price of your next grocery run. Remember those avocados we talked about? Yeah, those could see a significant price increase, along with other Mexican staples like tomatoes, peppers, and berries. And don't even get me started on beer. Mexico is a major supplier of beer to the US, so get ready to shell out more for your favorite cervezas. And if you're a fan of Canadian bacon with your breakfast, well, that might become a luxury item too, thanks to the tariffs on Canadian pork. The tariffs on Mexican and Canadian steel and aluminum could drive up the cost of cars, appliances, and even construction materials. That means your dream home renovation just got a whole lot more expensive, and that new car smell might be replaced by the bitter scent of tariff-induced inflation. Those tariffs on Chinese electronics, toys, and clothing could put a serious dent in your holiday shopping budget. These tariffs aren't just some abstract economic policy, they're hitting you right where it hurts, your wallet. Economists say, ouch. Inflation and supply chains take a hit. Economists are sounding the alarm bells, warning that these tariffs could trigger higher inflation and disrupt global supply chains. When you slap tariffs on goods from other countries, they tend to retaliate with tariffs of their own. This can create a tit-for-tat tariff battle that ultimately hurts everyone involved. Higher tariffs mean higher costs for businesses, and those costs often get passed down to consumers in the form of higher prices. This can lead to inflation, which erodes the purchasing power of your hard-earned dollars. These tariffs can also disrupt global supply chains. Businesses rely on a complex web of suppliers and manufacturers around the world to produce their goods. When tariffs are imposed, it can force businesses to scramble to find new suppliers or pay more for existing ones. This can lead to delays, shortages, and even job losses. They have the potential to wreak havoc on the economy, driving up prices, disrupting businesses, and ultimately hurting American families. The bottom line: will tariffs trump common sense? The Trump administration argues that these tariffs are necessary to protect American jobs and level the playing field on trade. They claim that other countries have been taking advantage of the US for too long, and that these tariffs will force them to make concessions. But many economists argue that tariffs are a blunt instrument that often does more harm than good. They point out that tariffs are essentially a tax on American consumers and businesses, and that they can lead to higher prices, job losses, and slower economic growth. So what's the bottom line? Well, it's still too early to say for sure what the long-term impact of these tariffs will be. But one thing is clear: trade wars are complex, and there are no easy answers. The hope is that cooler heads will prevail and that a negotiated solution can be reached. But until then, we can all expect to feel the pinch of these tariffs in our wallets. Will it be a story of economic triumph or a cautionary tale of protectionist policies gone wrong? Only time will tell. But one thing's for sure, we'll all be feeling the effects of this trade war for years to come.